everyone, so I thought I would do an update because loads of people that have seen my YouTube video have messaged me on Facebook and Instagram, which has been really sweet. I'm also really sad that so many people have this illness, but I thought I'd give a little bit of an update from when I last made this video about 7 weeks ago. I know that when I was searching on the internet, I really just wanted to follow someone's journey with this illness, and I pretty much think I've seen every person on YouTube that's ever made a video about this, so I know there's a lot of people that want a lot of information. So, trying to think what I've done since last time. So, I was doing VRT every day, which was helping to a degree, but then my VRT specialist, if you are in London, I see someone called Nicola Harris. She works closely with two neurologists that I've seen, one called Dr. Sremfrim. He's based in Harley Street in Kent, and the other one is Peter Zavundra. He is based at Portland Hospital. I've actually seen him a lot as a kid having this illness. So yeah, I've had this for a long time. I would just like to state, when I had this as a kid, it was very episodic, didn't have the same symptoms, and it didn't affect or impact my life anywhere near as dramatically as it's impacting my life now. Anyway, so I saw Nicola. I've seen Nicola since last time I made a video. She has basically said that I know there's a lot of people that are YouTubing vestibular rehab exercises, so I just, don't shoot the messenger, but this is just the information that's been told to me. Yes, your brain needs to compensate, so if you are having episodic vestibular migraine, then this would probably work great for you, because in the past, when I had episodes of vestibular migraine, VRT was the only thing that pretty much cured me each time, and that's 3 relapses. No medication, just VRT. However, now I have chronic vestibular migraine. It's a completely different thing. I'm getting attacks, 24, I'm dizzy 24/7. So it's completely different. So if anything, this could aggravate my dizziness. And the other thing is, Nicola said to me that if the migraines are not controlled, it's a bit like building a sandcastle by the sea. Every time you build up this sandcastle and another wave comes in, it completely destroys all the work you've done. That is kind of how it was explained to me in terms of vestibular rehab. I swear I'm getting just brain blanks recently. That's how it was explained to me in terms of vestibular rehab and vestibular migraine and how they link together. So that can help if you are getting episodic migraine. For me at the moment, she did give me some exercises, but kind of said that I need to get my migraines under control first. Like I've said in the past, I know everyone is not for medication. I kind of feel like I'm at a point where I'm that miserable and it's ruining my life that I need medication. I have tried the Heal Your Headache diet, I have done the supplements, and although it has helped to some extent, it has not got me anywhere near back to how I was before. So for me, I'm still trying medication. So what have I taken since last time I made this video? So I was on dosilepin, which was fine, but then they just transferred me over to nortriptyline because they're similar. They're tricyclic antidepressants, and nortriptyline is meant to have less side effects. Nortriptyline was great, to be honest with you. Like, I took it for 4 to 5 weeks. I would say when you take these medications, it's going to exasperate all of your migraine symptoms. It really does. I found that on most of these medications, and also to me that's a good sign, because I feel like that almost means I know that that's going to work for me. And maybe there is no proof in that. I think I read somewhere, I think it was the Walton Headache Centre somewhere, someone sent an article saying that if you do actually react quite badly in terms of it exasperates your symptoms in the first week, sometimes this is a good sign because it means your body is responding. After that terrible week, when I started nortriptyline or dosilepin, I suddenly started noticing really, really, really gradual small changes, like the detached feeling in my head started to lessen, the fog in my head started to lessen, movement in front of me was kind of starting to desensitize, my vision, the blurriness, the light sensitivity, all of this was gradually starting to come down, and I was only on 20 milligrams. So that's quite positive. The one thing, and the reason they took me off these drugs, which to be honest I was devastated about was that my heart rate was just getting too high. Like many of you may not be aware of your heart rate. I'm a personal trainer, that's my job, so I'm quite aware of what my resting heart rate is. I wear a Fitbit on my wrist, and you know, I'm a fit person. I still, you know, I exercise. I used to run a lot, although I haven't done that recently. My resting heart rate is usually 59 to 60. When I was on nortriptyline, it was jumping up to 78. 20 beats per minute above what it should be is extreme. And then when I was walking around, it was just going so high. If this is a drug that I have to take for 6 months to a year, unfortunately, it's not the drug for me. So my neurologist took me off, which I was devastated about, because as any of you know, it is exhausting having this condition and feeling like you're getting somewhere and then just kind of sinking all the way back down. The only positive I will say about taking this drug is that it made me aware that a med can help me, and did start to make a difference, which makes me hopeful to try another medication. It's just finding the right medication. So the new medication I'm on is Candesartan, which is a blood pressure medication. I haven't felt anything being on this, like I've been on this drug for 10 days, and I know it's very, very early days on this drug, but for me, I feel like I know if something's going to work, because every other drug that has had any positive effect, even when I took amitriptyline for a week, it instantly, I saw changes. And I'm not saying this is everyone, but just for me personally, I'm not overly positive about this medication. I know it has helped some people and everyone's different, but this is just how I feel about it. So I have spoken to my neurologist yesterday and kind of just said I also need a drug that calms down my anxiety and the depression that comes with having this, because if you have this illness, you can't really do anything. And not only can you not do anything, no one knows how you feel. You look fine. I scrub up pretty well. I don't, you know, I try not to sit there moaning about my problems 24/7, but you have this illness 24, when it's in a chronic phase, my brain is not recovering. Like, it is still hypersensitive, and it's not going to calm down unless my threshold of migraine is down, hence the medication. So yeah, that is probably the most lonely part of this illness, is that it is severely isolating, severely depressing, and would give anyone anxiety, even if you weren't an anxious person. For me, you know, my biggest symptoms right now are, and I notice this a lot being on nortriptyline, I cannot handle movement. Like, if someone does this in my face, or I'm walking outside and there's just too much going on, I instantly just physically feel like I can't even explain how it makes me feel. Even walking around my house or too much eye movement, I'm so sensitive to it. And this is obviously where VIT would be very helpful, but again, I need to control the migraines for that to work. So yeah, it's been, you know, it's horrendous. I never had these symptoms when I had this before. So I have also been told from my neurologist that migraine has a habit of changing as you get older, so yay. So yeah, so hopefully I will, I would like to go on pregabalin or gabapentin. I think in America that's called Lyrica. I am speaking to my neurologist about this today, so I want to go on a drug that helps the migraine and also just calms me down, because anxiety makes these symptoms 100 times worse, and they are actually linked according to my neurologist. Apparently anxiety runs through the same part of your brain that these migraines are happening in. Don't forget, vestibular migraine is a different part of the brain to a normal migraine. It runs through the brainstem and irritates the occipital nerve, I think. And, you know, other migraines work in a different area of the brain. So this is the other thing about this condition. I don't think there's anyone in my life that understands what this illness is. It's not, you know, a sporadic, episodic thing. It is 24/7 symptoms every single day, literally, that sometimes get a lot worse. And I think calling it a migraine is a joke, because it's a neurological chronic illness, and it's not something that comes and goes, and it's also not a headache. So I can't stress that enough. If you're dealing with this, you know, try and show your family or whatever videos, try and get them to understand exactly what your problem is. Invisible illnesses are cruel because, you know, like I said, people can't see that you're unwell. And I sound really blocked right now because I have a little bit of a cold. So that is where I am in terms of treatment. So I will let you guys know how I get on. I've like really appreciated all the messages. I like, honestly hope these videos help anyone that's going through this, or maybe just share a little bit of information. Things that supplements that I'm also currently taking. If you haven't read the Heal Your Headache book by David Buckles, I think his name is, I highly recommend you read it. Even though it links to, you know, every kind of migraine, it will really explain, you know, all the symptoms that you can get from migraine, which is ridiculous. I mean, I have tingling in my legs, crawling on my fat. Like, you would not believe the amount of symptoms that I have from this condition, which, like I said, would also trigger your anxiety to a huge amount. Also, the book does recommend diet and the supplements. So the supplements that I'm currently taking are 500 milligrams of magnesium citrate, COQ10, which I've only just started taking. B2, I'm taking 400 milligrams. I take vitamin D. I have magnesium salt baths. I'm trying to think what else I take. I take fish oil and iron, but that's obviously separate to the migraines. So the main ones for migraines are COQ10, magnesium, B12, and I think D3. So if you're not on those, I suggest you definitely buy them. The book will tell you the amounts that you need. You can also, I think there's like different supplements for the States. I think in the States they've got like butter something, and like feverfew. I think the recommendations are a little bit different over there. But, you know, some people honestly can recover with just the diet and supplements. And great if you can. You know, everyone is different. Everyone's at a different point with this. Everyone is affected differently. And like I said, when I was younger and I had this in a much lower level, and my kind of only symptom was a bit of off-balancedness and, you know, fuzzy vision, yeah, I reckon I could have taken supplements and diet and I was fine. So, you know, there is not one way forward with this. Everyone is different. Anyways, if anyone has any questions or you want me to YouTube about anything else, please let me know. I am also going to post some exercises for us dizzy people at some point. I have had a bit of a cold and a little bit of a relapse coming off nortriptyline, which sucks. So I was hit with a massive migraine coming off this drug, which was not fun at all and severely draining and exhausting. So hence the lack of me doing these videos, but I will make some videos very, very soon for you guys. Okay, cool. I will catch up and post later on.